What's going on, everybody? And welcome back to another edition. Backstop Banter. We're going for a little bit. But we're back. Some would say better than ever. I would be one of those people because how could you not be better when the best player in all of baseball resigns with your own team? So, I am here. I'm ready. I don't think I'd be able to continue on with the show if things had gone down in a different way. So, we're good now. Now we're all good. Michael, how you doing, though?
I am doing okay. Can't complain too much. Does no good to complain. But I have started my new job now. I don't know if we haven't talked since last time.
No, we haven't been
But
here in 3 weeks, Michael.
yes, since when I brought up our live stream here, it actually still had the banana baseball background. I was like, oh wow, it has been a while.
It's been a
But I've
while.
started my new job on Monday. I am now the store manager of a local store here now, so I am the top dog,
It's
learning
not the
everything
Tractor
I
Supply?
can. I am no longer a Mr. Tractor. I am now at
Oh.
Advanced Auto Parts. So if you need a battery, come holler at me.
I wish it was O'Reilly's.
You know what? Who likes O'Reilly's?
Me, because they have a better jingle than you guys.
Is it bad that I don't know the jingle?
I don't even know if they have a jingle. I just know it's O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Auto Parts. With Advance, we just take care of customers and get them what they need.
No, but you guys don't have a jingle, so it doesn't matter.
We don't need a jingle because
everybody needs a jingle. We even have a jingle. Look, Michael, look. That's basically our jingle right there.
Is it a jingle? Because it don't say Backstop Banter or any
Backstop Banter at the end. Do I have to play it again? I'm not playing it again.
It doesn't say it. It's the logo. Like
listen. All right. Technically, what's the McDonald's jingle? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I'm loving it. Like
there's words. But realistically, the jingle part of it is ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
No, so you can't. You can't say the ba-da-ba-ba-ba without thinking I'm loving it in your head. I don't care what you say.
Yeah, but the part that makes you think of I'm loving it is the ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
No, if I just say I'm loving it, you still think of McDonald's.
Well, yeah, but fat Americans, what else are we going to do?
That's true.
All right, listen. Why don't we just do this?
Let's do it.
And I'm going to pull up here the 2023 MLB free agent tracker. And bam, we're going to zoom in right here. Now look at that. We got all the players that have signed so far and all of their amazing salaries. So we got the name, we got the information, the position. I believe this is their age, bat,
Jonathan,
throw, team.
We're baseball right now, but yes, Baker is with the Rams. I think he starts this week. I picked him up in one league, but anyways.
Yeah, he is in for the Rams right now. I am watching that game on my phone.
Oh, is he actually in? Oh, I forgot his. Okay.
The team that they started with is right here. The team that they are now on is over here. This is the amount of years they get, the money, and then the average annual salary. And Michael, let's be real here. Let's talk about the important one. Let's talk about
Jose
reigning, defending, undisputed AL MVP, single season AL home run record leader, 0.005 points away from the Triple Crown in the AL. The absolute unit of a man. That is Aaron Judge. And listen, this might be the best free agency story in the history of free agency. He turned down 7 years and $213.5 million. Or $213.5 million at the beginning of the season. And Michael, the thing that I have come to realize over these past, months and weeks and things leading up to this, he never countered. He never even countered it. The Yankees came to on opening day because he set the deadline as opening day. He said, listen, if I don't sign by then, I ain't talking to you. And the Yankees said, all right, 7 for 213. That's what we got. The judge said no. That was the end of the story. There was no no, I want 250. And no, I'm good, brother. Well, he then goes Bats, I believe, 309, 62 home runs, over 130 RBIs, I want to say it is, and takes that into a 9-year, $360 million contract instead. $40 million a season, the highest paid position player in MLB history,
40
obviously, which
million.
still doesn't make sense to me that position players get paid less than pitchers. But listen, we've had that conversation. So I don't think it makes sense to anybody. Because let's see, Scherzer's making 43.3.
Verlander's making 43.3 as well.
Yeah, I think it's like $1 less though than Scherzer. Believe it or not, it's like 100,000 or like $1. I don't know. It's technically less.
100,000 or $1. You know,
or maybe 1,000 or maybe 100. I don't know. Listen, I know it's not a million. But highest paid position player, and listen, they had to do it. I don't think that they really had a choice when it came to him. Yankee fans wanted him. You are the Yankees, and I don't think you can lose somebody because of money. I think if this is a Jacob deGrom situation, which we'll get to, obviously, Jacob deGrom wanted to leave. Like, he just did not want to pitch for the Mets anymore. He didn't want to be in New York. I think he just wanted to go to Texas, where, after a start, there's going to be 10 reporters, not 45 in the locker room. If you have a bad start, you can probably just, go out of the back and escape it. If you have a bad start in New York, you're on the back page of the New York Post. So I think they just kind of wanted to escape. And I think the thing that a lot of Yankee fans loved seeing with this signing, though, too, is that they kind of flexed the muscle. They did the old George Steinbrenner. People outside New York probably aren't very familiar with it, but back in 98, I think at the end of the 98 season or at the start of the 98 season, Bernie Williams was a free agent. He's technically never a member of the core four, but, he was basically the Fab Five of the Yankees. And he was going to be free agent. Red Sox offered him like 6 years, like $58 million, nothing back, back then that's a gigantic contract. And he was going to the Red Sox. He was going to do it. Last minute, George Steinbrenner called him. He said, listen, what do I got to do? He said, match the offer. He said, deal. Now come back, shut up. And he signed it. And with the Yankees, it was Judge was planning to go to Hawaii for his honeymoon with his wife. He was like, all right, let's just stop in San Diego, whatever. And he stops at the winter meetings. He talks to some teams, and Hal was like, listen, actually in Italy, Hal Steinbrenner was in Italy, calls Judge. He says, like, what do we need to do to get you back? He said, listen, I want to be a Yankee. I need, the 9
years.
I need 9 years. And he said, all right, deal. And now Aaron Judge is a Yankee for the next 9 years, and he's making $40 million a season.
That's crazy. I mean, kudos, of course. Excuse me. Kudos to the Judge as well. I mean, if you can make $40 million a year for 9 years, by all means, do it. But it just blows my mind to think that much money is signed to one player for the next, basically a decade.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, as we'll look at some more of these, I'm happy that he's a Yankee, believe it or not. I know that sounds weird from an anti-Yankee for me, but Aaron Judge in a different uniform just kind of sounded weird. Maybe a Giants uniform would have been okay. That was some of the talks, but it's good to see him back with the Yankees. Now, I'm probably getting ahead of myself, so I'll back off on this. Do you think this puts the Yankees in a better spot for next year, or this just kind of keeps them where they were? Because that's a lot of money going to one guy.
Well, you see, that's the thing, too, because technically there's a lot of money going to one guy. I understand that. And there's
no upgrade, but there's no downgrade,
But here's the thing, too. Technically, their payroll isn't more. Because you look at, Judge was making $20 million last year. Now he's making $40 million. That means their payroll went up $20 million. Not going to be able to sign other people. We have to look at the contracts that came off. Chapman was making 19, I think. He's gone. I believe Zach Britton was making $15 million. He's gone. I think Chad Green was making like $10 million. He's gone. So you subtract all of that, and you add technically $20 million. You don't add $40 million. And I think the Yankees actually technically have more money now. Now, obviously, I don't think they're done either. There's, the rumors that they're in on Carlos Rodon. they're still looking for another outfield piece. Probably Andrew Benintendi, who they traded for last season. Obviously, they would like to get him back, but I don't think they're done. So they're kind of in the same spot, I would say, right now. Obviously, they brought Rizzo back. I think Rizzo's going to have an improved year now that the shift is banned. Because he was a pull hitter, and I think John Boy made a video. Oh, whoa, Michael! You listen to us?
Apparently, these just died.
Oh no, this guy's not even charging his own stuff.
If you watched Count the Bucket on Sunday, you will know that they went through my washer, and so I wanted to let them go all the way out. So,
Michael,
we'll see how they go from here. So,
through the washer, what are we doing?
I'm sorry, man. Leave me alone. It happens.
It's tough out here.
But they're still working, so that's nice. I just got to charge them.
Surprising too.
Absolutely.
But yeah, they're in on Rodon. I think that they'll try and get Benintendi back. Brian Reynolds from the Pirates has become available via trade. He doesn't want to be there anymore, even after they offered to make him the highest paid player in franchise history. So he's on the trade market now. There's stuff out there for them to do, and I think that they will do it. I think Rodon's looking for like 6 years at 30 a season. So, I mean, listen, there's a lot of money wrapped up in the Yankees, obviously. I think if you combine what Stanton makes for them technically, because the Marlins still pay some of his contract, plus Judge, plus Cole, I think that just the three of them are making like $109 million. So, they got a lot of money wrapped up in a few players, but there's still ways for them to improve the team because, listen, they are the Yankees, and there's ways to trade salary away. Maybe you look to trade, and I don't know who would want him, but maybe somebody thinks that they can fix him. The Josh Donaldson. If you try and trade Josh Donaldson, I think he's on the hook for like $25 million. But technically, you say, hey, we'll pay 15 of it. So technically, you're still taking away $10 million off your payroll. Now you're still paying him. Do you wish you could take all of it off? Obviously, he's terrible. But, you're obviously not going to be able to do that. But I think that there's still ways for them to improve, and I certainly look for them to do it.
So, who do you think so far has won the winter meetings off-season signings? What team? Or let's do both. What player and then what team?
Well, Judge wins automatically. I mean, you're the
That's
highest
fair.
paid position player in the history of your sport. You went from 217 for 7 to 360 for 9 after 1 year. I mean, it's not like they offered him that contract 2 years ago, and for the last 2 years he said no to the exact same thing. Like they are beginning, one season made him $100 million plus. So
is that his age? That 30.6.
Yeah, he's going to be 31 at the start of next season. So that contract will take him to 40. And that's the thing that people look at too, though, which I don't really understand. Like, I guess I do, but listen, everybody in baseball gets long contracts. This is not the NBA. This isn't the NFL where it's like 5 years, 2 years, 3 years. Like every contract you're looking at right now. Look, Trey Turner for the next one, 11 years. Xander Bogaerts, 11 years. Like both of those contracts take both of those players to age 41.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, Judge's contract only takes him to 30, or no,
40.
It takes him to 40, I should say. So technically,
Trey and Aaron will be the same.
So it's
ish.
I
still think that's weird, though.
No, I mean, I guess baseball players just want the longevity, and I mean,
it's all guaranteed money too. So that's what's
it's all guaranteed. It's non-salary cap. So, I mean, if you can guarantee a team pays you for the next 9 years of your life at $40 million, I mean, I guess I would do it too. Why wouldn't you? I mean, unless you're Juan Soto and you can become a free agent at, I think he's going to be 24 or 25 when he becomes a free agent.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he looks at them and says, no, I'm signing a 3-year contract. He's like, I want to become a free agent again when I'm 28. And then listen, I'll sign my 12-year contract. That'll take me to the age of 40. But maybe he wants to sign a 3-year contract where it's like, yeah, I'll take a 3-year contract and I'll go to whatever team that wants to pay me enough. Maybe he looks at it that way. Maybe, a team is desperate to sell tickets or they want to show their fan base they're doing something. And they're like, we'll give you 3 years at $50 million a season. And it's like, well, okay, because then I can be a free agent at 28 again, sign my 12-year contract that takes me to 40, and then maybe make more money.
Right. So I want to ask you this. What if Aaron Judge said, hey, I only want a 3 to 4 year contract? We'll say maybe 5.
I'm not going to lie to you. I think the Yankees would have been happy with that. The Yankees didn't want to do this.
I just want to ask, how much money do you think he would have got at 5 years?
I think it would have been the same.
The $360 million?
No. Like 40 a season.
40 a season.
I would say so. It's just, yeah. I think it would be for like. I don't know. It would depend on the team if maybe they don't want to lock him up for a long term, but they really wanted him in the short term because they think that they can do something now. Like, what if the Dodgers were like 1 year contract? We'll give you $60 million. Like, we just need one more person to really push us over the top, make us the biggest super team of all time. We'll take the L, next year when you want to leave. Like, I don't know. Could a team have done that? Maybe. Does he do it? I don't know because that's 1 year at 60 when, it would be $20 million less dollars for the year. But what if he goes out and has a terrible year? God forbid he gets hurt or just, all of a sudden he bats 250 and hits 25 home runs and drives in 80 runs. You're not looking at
baseball's a lot different than basketball because in basketball with the NBA, like you can do those 2 year deals, 1 year deals with a player option because, even though that you may be hurt some and you don't have high stats, if you will, like there's still the chance that you can come back to be your guy or be yourself.
Exactly.
But in baseball, like if you have a bad year, like you're pretty much saying that you're going downhill, like you can't make contact with the ball anymore, or they can stat check you as far as, okay, your swing power is not nearly as strong. You're not making
your bat speed has gone down 10 miles.
Your power,
a mile
acceleration.
Last year.
So, I mean, I think that's one reason why we do see the long terms in the MLB because of that. They want to say, hey, if as I decline, I want to make sure I'm paid for the longevity of my life.
Exactly. I mean, why take a 5 year contract if you're Judge and have to renegotiate at 35 or 36, I should say, when you can have the 9 years and you're 40 years old, probably batting 210. And guess what? The $40 million is still going in my bank account. I don't care what I do. And that's the thing with baseball. You could literally. He could play one game a season. It's $40 million. It's not the NFL where it's like, oh, you have to play this amount of games for this contract boost to get in. You have to have this many sacks for this contract boost to get in. You have to play this percentage of snaps for this like, it's not. It's okay. I signed the contract, $40 million, or technically, I signed the contract, $360 million, unless he, for some reason retires or, has like a very, a long term injury. Because I remember with the Mets with David Wright. Technically, like you have an insurance policy on the contract just in case something happens. And David Wright had a back thing, so technically the Mets could have claimed the insurance policy, and they weren't technically paying the money on his contract that they were, I don't know, supposed to. I guess I put that in air quotes because they have the insurance policy on it. They don't have to. That's the whole point of it. And so, and then as for the team, I mean. Honestly, it might just be San Diego. I know they only signed one person and it's Xander, and listen, they really would have won if it was Trey Turner, but Trey Turner decided to opt for the Phillies, even though technically the Padres offered him more money. They offered him $341 for 11, and he took the 11 for $300 to go to Philly. I mean, realistically, in a money sense, that's probably smart because the taxes in California would make that not worth it. But the fact that they add Xander and now you're like your first four is Xander, Tatis when he comes back, Soto, and Machado.
Yep.
That's the best starting four, I think, in the I was about to say first I was gonna say the NFL because I'm watching the game. Then I almost said NBA because the scores are scrolling at the bottom of my TV screen. That's probably the best front four that I've ever seen, at least. I mean, I don't want to go back and say in history because I don't know, there's probably some old time player that was hitting, some old time all four people that were batting 600 and 10 home runs, which was about 45 back in the day. So, I mean, you did have Murderers Row with the Yankees where it was like Gehrig and
since you kind of went this route, I seen this on Bleacher Report. I wasn't even going to talk about it, but since you brought it up, they did a poll on there on Bleacher Report with the MLB news. It's got drop your takes on in the comments, of course. The best MLB 1 through 4. It's got Padres, Manny, Tatis, Soto, and Xander. Astros, Tucker, Yoder. I'm sorry,
Jordan.
Bregman, and Abreu. And then Phillies, Trey, Harper, Schwarber, and JT. And then it has the other. So I went ahead and put Padres with you, and they are winning 44%. The Astros are at 20%, and Phillies are at 32%, which kind of surprised me that Phillies are that high up. I mean, I do think they are the second in that, but I do feel like it should be a lot different in that percentage there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very formidable top of the lineup. I'll tell you that. I mean, if they get any type of pitching, they should be very good. Like this should be the year they compete with the Dodgers. Like we thought it was going to be last year because they end up getting Soto, and then we thought Tatis was going to come back, and then obviously we found out about the suspension. And Tatis should be back, I think, the second month of the season.
Oh yeah, okay.
So I mean, he's like I said, he's obviously going to come back, and I mean that's just an unbelievable top 4. So
absolutely.
I think that
I'm with you as far as saying the Padres. I'm actually maybe more impressed or leaning towards the NL East with the Mets and the Phillies. I'm going to go with the Phillies as far as right now signing, of course, Trey over for 11 years, adding shortstop. I want to say MLB Network. I'm sorry, couldn't talk there for a second. Had a stat they were showing up today on on one of the stations that they had going, and it was talking about what the Phillies shortstop produced this year compared to Trey Turner, and it was
they were awful.
Yeah, so adding him to this team, I think, is going to put them really close, if not right back to the World Series. And of course, now that they signed Walker from the Mets, starting pitcher, so I think adding those two big important pieces to that lineup with the Phillies, I think it's going to put them right back into contenders. There we go. Now the Mets, I feel like they've done very well signing back Diaz, and then of course they also signed back Nemo. Who else?
Yeah, they just signed Nemo right before we came on live,
and of course adding Verlander. Now I'm going to say this, and you may hate me. I almost like Verlander as a Met more than I like DeGrom. Now hear me out. DeGrom obviously is a better pitcher, but over the time in a season, if Verlander can pitch through the season, he's been more reliable for the season. So that's
why I'm not even going to jump you on it because it's a tough call. I think. Mm-hmm. Listen, I mean, first of all, he just didn't want to be like I was listening, of course, to the K show. They had Buster Olney on, and they asked him, they were like, "Is there any way that DeGrom was coming back?" He was like, "Yeah, if the Mets were the only team to make an offer on him." Like that was to the point it was. So, you obviously pivot and you go and get Verlander, who just came off winning a Cy Young in the AL. I know he is 40, but if you kind of look at it this way, he had Tommy John and then missed another season as well. So, is his arm 2 years younger because it doesn't have the stress of the Tommy John?
I don't think that's the case, but I like that. Well,
listen, that's what they say sometimes. Like in the NFL, when it's a backup running back for a while, he doesn't have all those hits on his body yet. So, I mean, you can look at it that way as well. And listen, it's tough because I will say the only thing I do hate is that all of a sudden, Met fans, I didn't care about Jacob deGrom. Okay, can we be real? Like, really? Now you didn't care? Oh, he didn't stay healthy anyway. You guys wanted him back so bad. I saw the Met fan page and the Mets people, we want DeGrom back. Like, that's our forever player. Yeah, exactly. Like, you thought of the Mets, you thought of DeGrom.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, he's a bum. I don't want him back. All right. Okay. Calm down. But, I mean, I guess in another review, I guess I understand a little bit. It's like, do I want DeGrom back and hope that I get all the starts, or Verlander did it last year, coming off of Tommy John and everything, and he still put up I think like a 1.9 ERA, maybe even lower than that. Made like 30 something starts. I think the Mets. That's the thing everybody keeps showing. Like the Mets won 101 games last year. DeGrom won 5. Like he has technically had 5 wins on the season.
Yep.
Now, that doesn't include every game he pitched in. Obviously, maybe he got no decision, or they won the game after he got out of it, but they were tied at the point he was in it. So I mean, a little misleading there, but still, even if you want to say 10, it's like, okay, 10 out of the 101 wins we had, you were a part of, I guess. And that's why, Michael, we've talked about it before. I need an explanation on why starting pitchers make more money than everyday players. I listen. I guess it's because starting pitchers are so rare and whatever. Like if you find a good one, he can be your workhorse. But even like workhorse now is like 6 innings at the max.
Yeah.
So you're like pitchers are getting paid more money now than they ever have in their entire lives to do absolutely less than they've ever been asked to do. So it is definitely still weird to me. But,
I mean, even just look at the money, and I hate to be this kind of person because I mean DeGrom's 5 years, $185 million, but Verlander is 2 years, $86.6 million, and over the 2 years, he's $43.3 million. So I mean, technically, Verlander is making more money than what DeGrom is. So is Verlander actually more valuable? It's just his age is why the contract wasn't extended. So, I mean, kind of makes you even think how people in the MLB, as far as office or owners, are valuing these two.
Yeah, it's definitely a little strange. Listen, if DeGrom came back this year and was healthy the entire season, like what Judge did, maybe he does get, a wild like 5-year, $45 million contract. Like if DeGrom came back, started the season, made 35 starts, won a Cy Young, 200 plus innings, a 1.95 ERA.
Right.
Like, does he go out and get a 5-year contract worth $45 million because you proved you were healthy, or not? And I guess we'll never find out. But, and I mean, I guess Met fans and everybody should have really seen this coming because I mean, before this season started, DeGrom said, "If I don't throw a pitch this year, I'm opting out of my contract."
Yeah.
Like he was opting out literally no matter what happened.
Do you think that he was upset with the way the medical treated him more than anything?
I don't know. I mean, is it possible? Yeah. I really do think he just wanted to get out of New York. I think that it's just it's not his vibe. I think he just wants to go out. And it's weird to say because Durant did come to New York, but I think they're in the same thing where it's like, I just want to play ball. Like you always hear Durant, I just want to play basketball. And for DeGrom, I think it's kind of just like bro, I'm just trying to pitch. I do not want to come off the mound and be asked 45 questions by you idiots in the New York media. I really just don't care. Are you trying to share something, Michael? Is that why you took my thing down?
No, I just wanted to see you a little bit better.
Okay.
We weren't really talking about any of the stats. If we get back to it, we just bring it back up. But I just thought,
okay,
I wanted to see
Mike,
a bigger
you see
you,
the
man.
bruise right here, bro?
I do.
It used to be like much big. Yeah, I did.
She
didn't do a very good job.
Surprise you that I do what?
She didn't do a very good job, obviously.
No, she went through your vein, man.
It was a lot. This is like, what's today? Today's Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah. I did my blood a week ago.
You're cracking me up. I got my blood a week ago.
Bro, like the bruise was huge. Like she screwed me.
Did you get a free shirt?
Why would I give a well, I don't know. I didn't give blood. I had I went to the doctor,
Oh, you had to take someone had to take your blood.
Yeah, she took my blood and I didn't give it away.
Oh.
Don't worry, I'm healthy though, apparently.
Well, that's good. Congratulations. Why was you at the doctor?
I had a little pain in my side.
So, you thought the appendix?
No. It was on the other side. But it was like annoying me. So I went to the doctor and I was like, yo, bro. He did the typical like, oh, does it hurt when I do this? And I said no. And he was like, well, listen, there's literally nothing in your body that's on the left side. He's like, the appendix is the right, the kidneys is the back. So like, it's none of that. He's like, we'll take your blood, just because you haven't been here in a couple of years. And I was like, okay. Don't worry, Michael. Cholesterol, great. Kidneys,
Good.
functioning fantastic. Liver
Awesome.
enzymes, great. My sugar even went down.
Was you constipated?
No,
Are you sure?
I've never had a problem with that.
Okay. Because believe it or not, I've known people, and it's quite comical, that their back hurts, and they've went to the doctor because like over pain, like
Oh yeah,
just
it's a
hurting and
backup.
stuff.
It's a big backup.
Yeah, and like one person was telling me, is like, listen, I felt so bad because they had to do an X-ray, and the doctor was like, you see all that right there? That's feces. You need to use the bathroom. We're like, oh, I'm like, yeah,
Some
that's
laxatives.
pretty
There
bad,
you
man.
go.
That's backed up. Do what?
Set some laxatives, and you're good to go.
Absolutely.
You'll be there soon, Michael.
No,
Yeah.
man.
Oh
Give
yeah,
me a
you're
cup
gonna
of
have.
coffee. 20 minutes. I'm ready to go.
Oh no, you're gonna have to be getting colonoscopies. You'll be there soon.
Ooh,
You're like
whoa.
55, so that's when they got to start doing those.
Well, who knows?
Just saying.
Might be fun. Easy, Connie.
I'm gonna need a giant. I'm gonna need.
You,
I need an Alaska-sized pause on that.
yeah.
That's how big.
So, I love what my Reds have been doing. Absolutely
nothing.
nothing. Like, it's been hard to be a Reds fan. Can I just say that?
I don't.
Like,
I mean, I can't imagine it's ever been really easy besides like 50 years ago.
no, it's been okay. Like,
I
we
mean,
at
you guys
least
had that 1 year of the bubble.
the bubble year. Yes, the bubble year in 2013 when we went to the playoffs with Cueto and Dusty Baker as our manager. And then we blew a 2-0 lead over the Giants, who went on to win the Super Bowl, the World Series, I think.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know. But
See,
anyway,
we're almost done, Mike. We haven't done the show in so long. We don't even know what we're talking about.
it's being very hard because we're not even making like trades or even discussing making trades now. Excuse me, the past probably 3, I'll say even 4 or 5 years now, during the winter meetings, there's some type of buzz that the Reds are looking at a shortstop, looking to get someone. Back when we got Puig, everything was like, hey, we're actually trying here. That did not pan out very well, but we enjoyed him at least. We were trying to be relevant. There was an article written out, and it's on Reds.com, where they talked about everyone in the NL Central came out from the winter meetings and upgraded in some form of fashion, except the Reds, like made a trade or made a signing. And it went on to talk that the Reds owners were saying, our avenue that we are working now is through scouts and player development. So like we don't even care, it sounds like. And I get it, I really do, because all year last year we talked about the Reds are trading everybody, we're getting all these prospects, we're going to come up, and I kept saying 2025 is our year, 2025. But like it keeps getting harder to wait that long, like we're ending 2022 soon, and that's still 2 to 3 years away before we're probably even going to try. And that's just tough.
I'd say I could relate, but I can't. So
Because even this year, like if we have anyone that pans out and starts playing well,
trade them.
we're probably going to trade them. Unless, it's Hunter Green or Ashcamp, any of the pitchers that are rookie to 2 years. Like we're not going to trade those. But, I mean, Kyle Farmer, who we've had for like 6 years, that has been pretty constant, but good, constantly good. Not great, but averagely good. We traded, or we let go. We didn't even sign him, I don't think, and he signed somewhere else. And we give this thank you letter. Thank you, Kyle, for what you did.
Thank you for doing everything you did for our community. It's much appreciated.
And there was a report, I don't know if you've seen this, not a report, an article that he wrote, and it says, what's tough is all these players that have left Cincinnati want to be in Cincinnati. He actually went on to say that Castellanos wanted to stay. Went on to talk about Sonny Gray wanted to stay. But the owners don't want to stay. Like they said, they love the city, they love the atmosphere, the ballpark. But ownership just wants to go this route, and it kills me to hear that.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't. And that's the bad thing too. Is like there's no way out of it unless they were to sell the team. And I mean, how many times does fan outrage actually lead to somebody selling the team unless it's for something like David, who's the NBA owner?
NBA owner or what?
Who had to sell the team for
this whole time? I had the wrong camera on.
Is that why you were lagging?
I guess so. That's the camera I wanted this whole time. No wonder I felt like I looked pale.
Unbelievable.
I know.
Who's the NBA owner, Michael? You're the one that does the NBA show.
David Stern? What are you talking about?
Owner of what? He was the commissioner. Oh, see, look, Nick is in here.
Thank you, Nick.
Maybe he'll actually be useful to me. Nick, who was the owner of the Clippers that had to sell the team?
Oh. Rob?
I don't think it's a Rob. I thought it was a David.
Anyway.
But anyway, that's the only way people. That's the only way people really get forced to sell a team is if like something scandalous comes out, like with him and the recordings that his girlfriend took, or Donald Sterling. Thank you, Nick.
Donald.
I'm asking the guy over here who hosted the NBA show with you on this network.
Listen, I just ask the questions. Nick and CJ gives the points. I'm like the Mike Green where I know nothing, but I just talk to you guys. You all give me the answers, okay?
That is true. I do have to do a lot of talking on the show to fill in for Michaels.
All you want to talk about is what Michael K said.
Listen, he has more information than me. You got to know you got to know your sources.
I will say this though, comical moment. One of my children, was reading a book, and it was listing like a bunch of children in her reading, and one kid was Michael, the next kid was K, and I went, Michael K, why do I know that name? And it took me about 5 minutes. I was like, I know that name. Who is that? And I was like, oh, wait a second, Michael K. Connie talks about that all the time. That's what it is.
The GOAT. The absolute GOAT.
Who has yet to come on the show.
Hey, listen, busy man, Got a number one radio show in New York to worry about. But listen, why don't we get back to this, huh? Let's just go down we'll go down the list some. Just give our thoughts on it. Trey Turner to the Phillies. I wonder if the Dodgers try and pick up a shortstop now. I wonder.
They will not go for
Correa?
Yes, I said Correa. There was an article written out last week, maybe this week, where they said they will not make an offer on Correa because they're afraid that he will not be accepted into the fan base due to the 2017 outspoken about the scandal.
Yeah, I think that's
scandal was that? I think you're familiar with that.
Cheating pieces of whatever.
Gotcha.
I think that's a cop out though, honestly.
I kind of do too.
Because listen, the minute you start winning, everybody forgets everything. Everybody.
Well, I mean, that's even, what was it, Kelly? Was it Joe Kelly that pitched for the Dodgers?
Oh, yeah, pitched for the Dodgers.
Wasn't he on a team with some scandal, but yet when he pitched for the Dodgers, it was like, oh, it's okay?
I mean, he was on the Red Sox before, and I think maybe they had a problem in like in a game or something. I don't know. But I don't know. But either way, I mean, listen, Garrett Cole is on the Yankees now. Then again, I don't think he was there for the cheating thing though. But I mean, he was on the team when everybody thought that they were using a buzzer. When Altuve wouldn't let them rip his shirt off because he had a giant tattoo that his wife didn't like that ended up being the size of a peanut. That's not suspicious or anything, by the way.
Absolutely.
But yeah, Trey Turner, he goes to the Phillies. I like that signing, obviously. Listen, he's a very good player. I was very nervous when he signed because apparently the backup plan for the Yankees, if they didn't sign Judge, was like to pivot, sign one of the big shortstops, and then move them over to third base when one of the kids could come up and have them play short, or move one of the kids over to second or something. So very nervous. Also, I guess I should mention this as well. When John Heyman tweeted that it looks like Aaron Judge was going to the Giants, The absolute drop that my heart had was unbelievable. I was disgusted, sickened, everything that you could imagine. And 5 minutes from now, oh my bad, that's an accident. Unbelievable.
What
You're
about the Reds outfit? Who in the world actually believed that Aaron Judge would sign with the Reds?
Yeah, I don't know what that was. I don't know why. I saw you put that in the group chat. I don't know why Talking Baseball made that. Maybe they were just trolling you guys because they know you guys don't do anything.
Well, I mean, we knew that wouldn't happen.
Well, yeah, but I think I think they were just trolling,
I'll say this, and I do think this is true. This is not me being sarcastic, so sorry. I think Cincinnati Reds is one of the teams that is always bad, but people respect. We're the oldest team in baseball now, and I just feel like everyone actually likes Cincinnati in some form of fashion. It's a beautiful city if you've ever been to it.
Can't say that.
The atmosphere is wonderful to be at. I just think people actually really like Cincinnati Reds. It's just we suck.
You guys are pretty bad.
Because you can watch any game and you may have a 70% chance that you'll see a Cincinnati Reds hat. I don't know why, but you will.
Or ad.
At any game.
I need an explanation there. What are you talking about?
If you go to any baseball game, there is a chance that you will see someone wearing a Cincinnati Reds hat. The explanation, I have no idea. I think, honestly, it's just that it's the
I thought
red.
You said ad.
No, Cincinnati hat.
See, that's why I was all messed up.
Okay. Hat. Come on, man.
Listen, you never know with you. You don't pronounce things very well. We figure that out when we talk about names.
Ain't that the truth? Correa.
Alex Cora, the manager of the Red Sox, though, so you're almost there. Speaking of the Red Sox, they lost Xander Bogaerts on the exact same day that the Yankees signed Aaron Judge. Oh, what a beautiful time to hate the Red Sox.
I'm sad that the Blue Jays haven't done anything.
No, the only thing they did was trade away Teoscar Hernandez. I don't know why either. They traded for the Mariners, though, your other favorite team. And Jesse Winker's on Toronto now.
Oh, did he go to the Blue Jays?
Yeah, he was part of the deal. It was like Jesse Winker and somebody else for Teoscar Hernandez.
It breaks my heart about Winker. There's stories about that he must be kind of cancerous in the locker room.
Bad guy. Unbelievable.
Well, it's not that he's a bad guy. It's like
he clearly is if you're cancerous in the locker room.
Well, what they were saying in Seattle, at least, is he doesn't really take his batting practice, his practicing serious or weightlifting. Like he's just naturally gifted on this stuff. And where the Mariners are a younger team, they didn't like his example of leadership that he was showing. And that's why one reason they wanted to get rid of him. Which I agree. I do.
I guess. But I guarantee you something right now, Michael, if he was better, they wouldn't have got rid of him. If he was like a top 10 player, he could be smoking cigs in the locker room. They wouldn't have cared.
I agree. He did have a bad year this year, so Suarez had a better year than him.
Yeah. Good for the Padres though. I kind of like it. They're just going all out.
They really are.
Judge a contract. They offered Turner a contract.
And it wasn't a 1-year thing. Like this has been a few years that they keep doing this. So it's
and they're also like, believe it or not, even though it's San Diego, they're like the 27th ranked market. Like we talk about small market teams. Like that's right behind Pittsburgh and right in front of Baltimore, technically.
Oh yeah.
In market size.
Wow.
So small market team, quote unquote, going for it. I don't want to hear no excuses anymore. But, yeah, we mentioned DeGrom. He's over there at Texas 5 for 185. That's 37 a year. Brandon Nimmo returns to the Mets. Their center fielder, so they get him back. There were some rumblings at the beginning of free agency that looked like he was going to go to the Rockies. But thankfully for his career, he doesn't do that to himself because I don't know why anybody goes to bad teams when you're a free agent. It doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, unless they just give you absolutely outrageous money, then I guess I kind of understand. Like, could you imagine if, like, who was the worst team last year? The Pirates? If the Pirates were all of a sudden like, yo, Judge, 10 years, 500, we'll give you $50 million a season. I wonder if he would have done it.
I think so.
$10 million a year? I think I might have to at that point.
$10 million a year?
No, an extra $10 million a year.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say he's making 40 now, dog.
So imagine an extra $10 million a year, but you just never have any chance of doing anything with your career.
But no. He has every opportunity to do whatever he wants to with his career. He just don't have a chance to win a ring.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean, though. You don't have any chance to actually be good.
Things are changing in this new era of sports. Like NBA, they don't care about rings anymore. All they care about is getting the money and playing with their friends.
Hey, I respect Judge, though. He technically took less money.
Yep.
So he's clearly about loyalty in a generation, like you said, where it's usually about the money. You're playing with somebody you like.
Who do you think lost?
The Red Sox.
See, I think the Cubs.
Why? Because they lost Contreras?
A little bit.
Who goes to your favorite Cardinals?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just to replace Yadier?
Who did they sign? I don't see it on this list. They signed someone that it was supposed to be like, oh, wow, they got someone good, but it's only like
Bellinger.
Huh?
They signed Bellinger.
He's got like 1 year on his contract, and it's so much money. Like, I don't know what was going on
and
with
he was awful last year.
Yeah, like
absolutely terrible.
They're paying less for him, too, and I think they're paying more for Jameson as well.
Yeah, Tyone's deal was a little bit bigger than I thought he would get, 17 a season. I think, then again, I think the qualifying offer for the Yankees this year was 16. So, I mean, I guess it's only an extra $1 million, but I think he's kind of a middle of the pack guy.
Mm-hmm. And, I like what the St. Louis did as far as signing Contreras from the Cubs. But at the same time, I mean, it does give him more offense compared to what it was Yachty doing. But, I mean, he's still good, solid behind the plate, of course. But I feel like they need to do more if they're wanting to improve, if that makes sense. Like, we were talking about with the Yankees, like they just signed back their player. It's almost like they just signed back Yachty,
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Well, they
definitely an upgrade offensively,
big time. But like, there's other gaps that I feel like they need to be filling. Granted, we're in December, like we still have time.
Yeah, but I mean, they also did just, win the division by however many games, and although they did lose in the first round, which wasn't good, and got swept. But then again, the Phillies also went on to go to the World Series, so it's kind of like that triple-edged sword almost. But let's see. We already know about Diaz. He signed a while ago. Contreras, we just talked about. Verlander, we talked about. Walker, we talked about a little bit. Tyone, we just mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Jose Abreu was early on in free agency. He goes over to the Houston Astros.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, listen, I'm pretty sure Yuri Gurriel was their first baseman last year. I think he had a negative WAR. He was awful during the regular season. Like, he was really, really bad. And Jose Abreu had a positive WAR, I think one of the higher ones for a first baseman.
Mm-hmm.
So they obviously got much, much better. I mean, he won an MVP in the bubble season as well. So you had a very good first baseman to a team that, well, clearly doesn't need any help because they just won a World Series. So let's see, what else do we got here? Mitch Haniger goes from Seattle to San Francisco. Some people thought that meant, Judge was going there as well. Turns out not to be true.
You think there was a chance
that Judge was going to go?
I do.
Oh, no, I do too. Listen, I hate Heyman for making that report and giving me an absolute heart attack and it not being true, which obviously I'm thankful it's not true. But you also have to realize somebody gave him that information. Like, all these people do have sources. So they will probably, like, I think in 20 years or maybe even, stuff gets leaked all the time. So maybe it might even happen this year, whatever, that like the story's going to come out of like Judge was right there about to sign the contract. And then he was like, let me have one more night on it. And then the John Heyman report came out and it gave the Yankees one more opportunity to talk to him. I guarantee, I genuinely feel that's how it happened.
I think so too. It's almost like the Tom Brady, like why he didn't retire. Like he was going to retire and then it got dropped, and so he didn't retire.
Well, like I said, it's the same thing
I
with the
think
Bernie Williams
sometimes.
situation all those years ago. Like the Red Sox were going to sign him. The report got leaked that he was going to the Red Sox. George Steinbrenner found out, called Bernie Williams, was like, "Listen, calm down. What do I have to do?" And he was like, "This is what I want." He said, "Okay." I really do think that's what happened. I feel like it was like, here's like our offer. Judge was like, "All right, I'm probably going to take it. Just give me like a night to sleep on this. It's a big decision in my life." They're, "Oh, okay, we respect it, whatever." And then it gets leaked. Yankees say, "Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Absolutely.
he's about to sign? What do you mean he's about to sign?" And, Hal Steinbrenner over there meeting with the Pope calls up Aaron and says, "Listen, no, he was. He was dead. I'm dead ass. He was with the Pope." There was
Okay.
literally a picture. I tweeted it out. I said, "Damn, even Jesus wanted Aaron Judge to be on the Yankees." Oh, that's a nice little fancy little graphic there. Does look a lot better than the one we had.
Yeah, from Talking Baseball.
Of course. Mike, why don't you click on it?
You said it.
Why don't you click on the image, Michael?
Click on it.
Yeah, it'll probably blow up the image, make it look real nice. There we go.
I hope it's the same size.
Although I will say, ever since you put this up, you've been lagging. I think, look at this. I think we lost Michael altogether.
I'm here.
I don't know. You're lagging real hard, brother. Oh, yeah. Now I know what you're doing. But, let's see. Anybody else that's really worth talking about? I mean, Clevenger went to the White Sox. Kershaw's back with the Dodgers.
Rizzo signed back. I didn't realize he signed back 2 years, 34.
Yeah, Rizzo signed pretty early on. That was a good sign that Judge would have come back. Because, I mean, they're like best friends.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess. I don't know. But.
Yeah, Bellinger, 1 year, $17.5 million.
I guess it's kind of a can we fix him deal. That's what I look at it as.
Do you think it's hey, let's get this guy because he's got a good name. If he plays well, we can trade him?
It can be that, or maybe it's, he didn't like it in LA anymore. He felt the pressure after winning the MVP and, he couldn't live up to it. And then all of a sudden, he goes to the Cubs, new beginnings. Bats, 300, goes back to his MVP form, and it's like, damn, we got this dude for 1 year, 17 and a half. Let's try and sign him again because we're the ones that actually give him a chance. Maybe he'll show some loyalty to us. I think that's what it could be.
I do like the Josh Bell sign with the Guardians. I hate saying that.
Yeah, that was a good one. A switch hitter, probably right in the middle of their lineup, a little power for him, which is a team I think that they were second to last in the MLB in home runs, just in front of the Tigers. So they obviously need power in the lineup, and well, he can do that.
There's a lot of Texas on here and a lot of Mets, it looks like.
Listen, you got to improve your team. Oh, yeah, that's the other thing. I don't know how to say his name, so I'm not going to try.
But come on.
No, I have no idea how to say it. Actually, it's Yoshida. I don't know how to say his first name. But he signed with the Red Sox. He's the outfielder from Japan that a bunch of teams were in on. I think, he had like 30 days to sign or something when he was made available by the Japanese Baseball League. And, he ends up signing with the Red Sox, who obviously, like I said, they do lose Xander, but they gained him. I think he batted like in the hot, like 320 something with like 20 home runs in the Japanese league. So maybe he comes over and could repeat those numbers. Obviously, they would love for that to happen. But yeah, I mean, honestly, that's free agency for us right now. We're still waiting on Correa. We're still waiting on Dansby Swanson. We're waiting on Carlos Rodon, Andrew Benintendi. Trying to think of any other. I don't think there's any other big names out there. Not that I know of, at least. But honestly, Michael, that's all. I'm not gonna lie, that's all that I have.
Sounds good to me, to be honest with you. I mean, it's off season, like for us.
Yeah, I don't even think we're gonna be doing the shows consistently anyway. I mean, we're gonna do shows when people sign and when there's news and stuff coming out. Then obviously when we get close to the season, we do our team previews and everything like that. But shows a little sporadic now. Now that it's the off season.
Absolutely. Of course, as we get closer to it, we'll try to do our picks, our record, and again, like we did, maybe break down each team. But until we get there,
yeah, that starts around May. Or no, not May. That's stupid. That's into the season. February, I should say.
it happens. It's okay.
Well, listen.
Until next time, I guess.
Yeah, as for me, Anthony Conover _ on Twitter. My link tree is in my bio. You can find everything there. And Michael, what about you?
Of course, go follow us on Twitter at Backstop Banter. You can follow me, MDLawson00. And in my bio is my link tree as well to find all the things to do. Of course, we've got Count the Bucket on Sunday where we talk everything NBA and a little bit of college. Sunday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
All right. Listen, everybody, with that all being said, I appreciate everybody for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next one. All right? Y'all have a good one.